According to the handy-dandy weather app, it looks like we're at 15 degrees and cloudy in Carrick, Minnesota, and we might get up to about 18 degrees. So this is going to be about it. A little chilly when the gloves are off, which is going to make this hard, my next job for today. Hey, I'm up at Bonsai Acres. I was just in the cold frame checking the trees and hooking up my new Baldertherm sensor system to kind of see and regulate all the temps inside there and make sure that all the zones are doing good for the trees. But this has been a thorn in my side, but we're going to do something about it. Welcome to Bonsai Acres. That's right, y'all. I have been itching to get some more trees down on the property, and I can't think of a better day than today. Temps in the teens, get the steel running, and we can cut down some more trees. Now, I've had an issue with the chainsaw, and this is the issue. So I've talked to a number of people now, and if you're a chainsaw expert, please mention down in the comments section, help me out here. I got that big droopy yaw section. Now, I know how to adjust the chainsaw. I've got the adjuster right here, and I can bring the arm out to make it taut because it does quote unquote stretch, or does it? So apparently where all these connect, every little rivet in there that connects these links can loosen up, probably by fractions of millimeters. But when you have 66 of these on this chain alone, that's a lot of fractions of millimeters, and look what you get. So, I've asked him if you can take a link off and just shorten it, and the guy looked at me like I was kind of stupid. So I don't know if they take links off anymore. Maybe they do. Some people might have that skill. But I do have a new blade, and so I'm going to go ahead and put the new blade on and just double check, because I've been trying to put this thing on for months. Back up at the property with my son Toby, we're trying to get this thing going up at the cabin there, the river property, to cut down some firewood. To no avail. And I got super frustrated, went back and forth to the hardware store, and yeah. So I've gotten a lot of words of wisdom on this chainsaw and what I need to do, and what I have is a brand new saw. Let's see if we can fix it. That would be a saw blade. Got myself a new saw blade. We're going to see if we can fix this guy. And I used to put on blades with the saw this way. And I saw a video, of course, on YouTube that says, no, just keep it up right here. And this blade, this arm, it's going to hold in place on these two rivets. And so you don't have to fight gravity and all that kind of stuff. So that was fantastic to learn. Okay, my hands, fingertips are already chilly. So as many times as I can wear my glove mittens here, I'm going to go ahead and make the bar come back. There you go. It just loosened up. It's pulling it back even more, so we can get this old blade off of here. And there it is. Make sure I had it on the right way. I did. And for reference, I'm going to make sure it's down here so I can look at it for reference on which way to put it on the right way. So I also learned that a chainsaw will break down on this side, or I don't know if it's break down, but it'll get worn on the bottom here. So these blades are made so you can flip them upside down. So there's no wrong way to put the blade on. And they have the part where the blade oil goes in on both sides there. You got to make sure those holes are clear, and you're good to go. So looks like that one side was, they both look like they're pretty used. But this one looks like the most used. So we'll put this on the bottom for this attempt here. Okay, well, let's keep those gloves on, Dave. So this is about as open as it needs to be, I think. Now we have to get our gloves off, I would imagine, to get this blade out of here. Oh boy. Now, one of the worst things in the world when you're working with a chainsaw is this mess. And how do you open it up so it all goes the right way? It's one of those puzzles you get when you're a kid and you spend all Christmas morning trying to solve this puzzle. And then, your uncle gets it, or your dad or something. Oh, okay. We're opening up. We're opening up. Oh, there's another open up. And there's probably a trick to this. So if any of you know the trick to getting these untangled, because you can see here, I've got my blade, and I got a kink there and a kink there. Now, you'd think if you unkinked both of those, you'd be in good shape, but all it does is creates another, well, kink. So you keep messing with it and twisting it and not twisting it and going, hey, is this way and like this? And now my thumb's caught in the blade. There's got to be a trick to this. Oh. I have yet to figure it out. Please help me in the comments, everybody, for the next time I fix my blade. I'll do my best to edit it down. And then when I solve it, I never know what I did. Oh, man. Maybe it's better if I lay it down on the workbench. Nope. Oh, but it just made that kink down there again. How did it do that? I wasn't even looking. And then you try to twist it just a little bit. But chains don't twist this way. You know, but then that side's going to be all funky. Is there anything on the box to tell you how to unkink a chain? Oh my, I made it more tangled. Warning, 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 warning. Now, see, I just went from 4 to 2. There's got to be some law of physics or something with, look, oh, voila. Oh my gosh, I'm back to 4 kinks, everybody. Okay, back to 2. So how did that happen? Oh, ah! Okay, I hope the camera's still on. How did that happen? I think I'm going to have to take my camera and watch in slow motion and see if it, what did I do to make it, oh my gosh, so crazy. Now, for this to go on the right way, we have to make sure those are facing that way. Right there, just like the old one. Yeah, there we go. All right, now here's my first test that's going to make me really nervous. If these are the same length chains, this whole thing is just going to be for naught and it's not going to work because my bar will not shorten enough. And it's the same length. I mean, it is chain for chain, the same length. Look at that. I don't know if you can see that on the camera there, but those are exactly the same length. So this bar tells me it's 0.05, 3/8 inch, and 66 links, which is what I bought. This ain't going to fit on either. I will not be cutting wood today, I don't think. But we're not giving up yet. Let's see. That's just so crazy to me. I don't understand. Okay, now I'm going to have to take my gloves off for a moment here to try to get this around the bar. Here we go. Look at that. Okay. The chain is on. There we go. Resting on its own weight. Now I know I can tighten it up a little bit. You know, if they looked the same length, how is that possible? How is it not dangling right now? Everybody keep in mind, this is not a how-to on how to fix your steel chainsaw. This is Dave's Bonsai. Dave, that's me. Trying to get mine to work after watching the real people on YouTube tell me how to do it. Okay, put the gloves back on because, man, my fingers are a little bit nippy there. Okay, love this tool. This tool is a lifesaver. When you don't have it, doing this chainsaw stuff is a pain in the you-know-what. I don't get it. Why doesn't that chain fit and it looks exactly the same length when it's laying on the desk, the table here? Yeah! I might be able to cut some wood today. Oh my gosh, this is crazy. Can't start a chainsaw with mittens. All right. I'm going to put it in a cold frame so it stays relatively warm, and then we'll do a little Shinrin Yoku and warm myself up. Yes, a nice Shinrin Yoku to warm me up. All right. Scared up a couple of turkeys out there. Second time today, as a matter of fact. Okay, let's give this a whirl again here. Whoops. There we go. Oh! Oh, that's awesome. That's a double thumbs up. All right. Well, I'm fairly warmed up from walking. Now I get to warm up chopping up some trees. Now, here's my dilemma. What do I chop up? So what I'm thinking about doing, since I'm not roaming around the property with the four-wheeler and where I'm worried about blocking the trail, I'm thinking about getting those two really big old cottonwood trees that are hollowed out. I think we're going to give those a try. Let's go set up shop. Well, tree number one was a success. It fell exactly where I needed it to. It didn't hurt any branches on the big oak, and it's just shy of all these trees. Yeah, and when it hit the ground, this part busted right off. Yep. Fantastic. So, I'm gonna start up the saw again and cut up some of these pieces. Now this is blocking the trail to go up towards where the proposed cabin's going to be and where I bring the four-wheeler around. So it's pretty big and flat right now. I'm able to make a couple of cuts and move some things out of the way eventually, but if that happens in the spring, it happens in the spring. Let's see if we can get this going. Well, I did it. I got the really big one down. That was really super hollow. It's just the bark down here, barely any hardwood. I don't know how this thing was standing. I cut through about 3/4 of the curved part here and the hollow part, and it still just stood there until that last little kink of pressure. And I don't think I landed on a single tree. Well, there's a couple there, a couple little poplars, but so this is a good time for a break. I'm going to grab something to eat, to replenish, get my strength back, give the saw a little break, maybe tighten up the chain just a tad, check the gas. But two big major trees that I didn't want to fall down in a storm on anything, so I controlled it by cutting it now in the dead of winter. So good time to cut. The wood is really cold, no sap running through, and it just cuts really with a brand new blade. Holy cow. So I'd like to get more of this cut up today, so I will come back after lunch, but I think it's time for a little break and lunch. Now, while I have some lunch, I've got a surprise for you. Yeah, not just me riding this cart on a trail. I got myself a security cam, just for a little peace of mind. And of course, after watching myself go back and forth a couple of times, I was really excited to see, well, some of what Mother Nature has to offer. Big hollow tree here, got a whole bunch of pieces, parts. Cleared out the path for the four-wheeler tomorrow, or the spring. My brain's working. And boy, does this open it up from the proposed cabin. One, you can see the cabin now from here if this was a tree in our way. Wide open view. So the big 14 by 30 with a 8-foot deck extending out, it's going to have all this to look at. So these stumps may be here for a while. This one's hollow. These two are not. It's one of those things with trees, right? Talk about a trunk chop. If I left this alone on the ground next year, I bet you we're going to get some branches coming out of the sides. Possibly, unless it was so diseased, but there was life. It'll be interesting to see if that actually happens. This would be one fun chimney fire. You ever get those round logs with holes in the middle? You put it over your hot coals, and then it starts to make a chimney fire. This thing's 3-4 feet off the ground. That would be one. That'd be one pretty big blaze. It's got to dry out though first. These are still alive on the outer hardwood, hollow in the middle, but they need to dry out. They need to dry out. All right, 2 big trees. Those were the big ones as far as like goals for today. I thought if I could get these 2 down, it'd be good. We're coming up in about 2 o'clock. And I may just do a Shinrin Yoku with the saw. I'll leave the camera alone. And I'm just going to cut a few things that are dead. Just get them down. Just fall them. I won't cut them up today, but I'll just cut them down. Get about 6 to 10 trees just kind of down, because there's a lot of small ones, you know, this big around, 8 feet tall or less. We'll just start making the logs, clearing away, and then we'll start cutting these up close to firewood size pretty soon. I'm so glad I came up today. After all that noise, it's nice to just, oh, wow. Time to go rile up some more turkeys. Until soon. Welcome to Bonsai Acres. Very excited.